Hi, my name is Cara, and this is Winnie, and this is our new life story. So, I grew up in Southern California, born and raised. I have two amazing parents that love Jesus with their whole heart and have been mentors, leaders, discipled me throughout my whole life. I also had an amazing youth programs that I was a part of growing up. Got accepted the Lord when I was really young and got baptized going into college. Went to a Christian university, graduated, and then moved international and worked at a missionary boarding school in Germany called Black Force Academy, which was an amazing experience. And while there, the Lord worked and revealed that following Him was easy. We make it really hard, but He calls us to love Him first and foremost because He loved us, and then out of an overflow of our love for Him, we're able to love and walk in obedience, love others and walk in obedience for Him. So that's something He really taught me when I was over there. Then moved home, worked at a youth program for a church in Southern California, and while I was there, felt convicted or led to start pursuing nursing. And I had this idea of working with human trafficking and sexual assault survivors, but did not know what that was going to look like or what that would be. So started pursuing that, but in that process, for the first time in my life, I wasn't surrounded by a body of believers. I knew I had a solid foundation, but during that time, it revealed to me that I had a lot of rickety structure, that I hadn't built everything up super solid. And in that time, a lot of lies started coming in, a lot of beliefs, negative beliefs about myself, finding my identity in the wrong sort of things and relationships. And so I started going down a path that I never thought I would go down and looking for love in all the wrong places. And so in that, I met a guy during that time when I graduated from nursing school, moved out to Missouri, and that relationship didn't work out. But in that process of separation and divorce, the Lord really has taught a lot to me about taking every thought captive, focusing on what is true, what is noble, what is right, what is pure, what is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy. Also thinking about praising Him as well as praying to Him constantly, because instead of going down this idea, these negative path thoughts, I can redirect the trajectory by focusing on praising Him. It completely changes your mindset when you do those things. And I also look at it as a fishing pole, where He taught me I always thought it was like I'm casting my cares onto the Lord and it just goes and it's gone away forever. But He taught me that it's like a fishing pole, actually. It's like I cast, and sometimes it sits out there in the water and with its bobber, and then it gets reeled in real slow, and then I have to cast it off again. But other times, it's like a fly fishing rod, where I cast it and it comes right back, and I cast it out and it comes right back again. And so it's this constant need for Christ that ultimately is my need to be coming to Him and coming with the burdens of my heart and my mind. And He also taught me a lot about the armor of God. I did a study with Priscilla Schreier, and it's talking about how we have to put on our armor every day, and what that looks like is wearing our belt of truth, which stabilizes our core, and then our breastplate rests in that, which protects our heart, which is the overflow of our mouth. The heart speaks. So whatever we're putting into our heart, our mouth is going to say, and our lives are going to live out. So if that's not stabilized and rooted in the truth, and then we also have to pick up our sword. We actually have to pick it up and remember to be picking up our sword of the word, which is the Word of God. And so it's just this action of putting our helmet of salvation and shod our feet with peace. So the Lord has really taught me a lot about that. It's a daily struggle, and I still have to commit those things to the Lord every day, but it's definitely worth it. Kind of full circle, I had pursued nursing thinking about human trafficking and sexual assault, didn't know what God was going to do with that, didn't know anything about nursing, and today I'm a practicing forensic manager of a forensic program, which based at St. Luke's, and we work with victims of violence that come into the hospital. And I also work with a counter human trafficking organization, where we work with victims and survivors of human trafficking and getting their lives to hopefully get them out of the life and get them started over. And all of that, it's so humbling. But but it makes me think of Micah 6:8, where God says to pursue or seek justice, to love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. And I have the opportunity to do that with my patients, as well as these victims that we encounter through my other job. And I want to end with verse Isaiah 43:1, which the Lord gave me during my separation and divorce, which is, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." And God is not a God of fear, he's a God of peace. So he's giving you peace when we trust in him. So I hope that gives you some peace and that you can go knowing whose you are.